in the camp that says you're very credible and you built it out of a need that you had yourself, which is where great products come from.
I put dirt as an active ingredient, said, hey, we don't want dirt in our to be able to produce in this manufacturing plant.
To really run.
No. It completely changes its texture and a stainless steel pan. Just north of $100,000. Only in 4 months.
First big meal of the day. Got a tilapia fish salad, something different I guess. It's got about 10 ounces of tilapia, about 60 grams of spinach, about 100 grams of mixed salad, and a cup of rice. Good meal one, mixed with a little bit of ketchup and a little bit of fat-free ranch. Yeah, so left my clothes in here yesterday. So my nice shoes, pants, just sitting in the locker. Luckily it was still there. These are things that Jordan does. Alright guys, I just got done with my workout. I literally just did 3 sets of bench, 315 for 3 sets of 3, and then I moved on to one tricep exercise. Trying to really keep it simple today, because I'm really feeling beat up. Did that, 15 minutes of cardio on the stair stepper, and that is all I did today. I know that sounds like not much, but right now I'm trying to play around, switch things up, make sure that I'm not completely killing myself every single day, because right now I am on a schedule of going to the gym 6 to 7 days a week. That's how I like to lose extra weight when I'm dieting, is just be more frequent in the gym or more frequently active. Sometimes I'm at the gym 6 days a week when I'm dieting, and then I'm out walking or going up the mountain one day, but I want to make sure on this cut that I do things better than I did last time, so I look bigger at the end of the cut. I'm retaining more muscle, retaining more strength, so those are big goals of mine. I don't want to just get shredded, and like my 1 rep max now is 315 on bench, my deadlift goes down, my squat goes down, I've lost 5 pounds of lean muscle. I don't want that to happen. I could do that. I could get shredded in the next 45 days. I can get down to that 160 in the next 45 days, but at what repercussion? Strength loss, muscle loss, a lot of different things. Could get injured. I'd feel really crappy. I'd be down. My serotonin would be low because my glycogen would be low all the time. Different things. I wouldn't sleep that much. Just a lot of stuff. The faster you lose weight, the more repercussions. So 90 days isn't too bad, but when you go beyond 90 days for a pretty extreme cut, really starts to make things difficult if you're trying to lose more than 10, 15 pounds. So 90 days is a good aggressive kind of window to cut, in my opinion. For me personally, if I was cutting for a show, I would be dieting for more than 90 days. I like to have about 120 to 160 days when I'm dieting for an actual show, but I'm not dieting for a show. I'm dieting to be part of the summer shredding community and kind of get lean for the summer, which is what summer shredding is about. And I thought it'd be a good time to start sort of a cut. And for me, 90 days is almost a mini cut. It's not that bad for me because I've literally, I shit you not, I've cut for almost a year before for a show. And I got shredded, absolutely shredded. Did not go over my macros one day. That cut taught me discipline, right? That was years ago. I was 18 years old. And I dieted with Jeff Alberts from 3DMJ. He was my coach. We dieted down for 10 months. And then I couldn't even do the show because at that point I was an actor and I got cast in a movie. And then after I canceled the show, the movie got canceled. After dieting for 10 months. What that taught me is extreme discipline, because for 10 freaking months, guys, I did not go over my fat, my carbs, my protein over more than 5 grams. I'm not kidding. Not one time. Not one single time. I even brought my food scale to restaurants and was weighing food at restaurants. I was weighing my Splenda and my coffees. With that said, I'll probably never go that extreme again unless I'm dieting down to do a show, and I might do that next year, but other than that, I'm not going to go that crazy and be that precise if I'm just dieting to look good for the summer and be lean for the summer. And The only reason that you should diet like that, like literally strategically count your Splenda and everything down to the T, make sure that you're hitting down to 5 grams of carbs, fat, and protein, as if you're like literally 30 to 45 days out from a show and you're going in there to kick some booty. Ass. Yeah. Both of those things. So, let's talk just a little bit. I don't want to take up too much time with this video because I want to put tomorrow in the video too this time. But what I want to talk about just for a second is central nervous system and how that makes it matters more when you're dieting. Your central nervous system, it takes more of a hit when you're dieting because you have less calories for your joints, your ligaments, your central nervous system, muscular recovery. And so I've benched 315 for 6 reps before. I've done that. That was like a month or two ago. I did that. That was my central nervous system at its absolute best because I just came out of a deload. Muscles weren't stressed, perfect warm-up, perfect reps, every rep was smooth. Like that's perfect case scenario for me, 315 for 6. Today, me being able to get 315 for 3 sets of 3 was actually really good. So here's the thing, guys. Like on yesterday, 500 on deadlifts, I failed on my second rep, and I put everything into that failing rep. When you do a max effort single or double on deadlift and you fail, that absolutely takes everything out of your central nervous system. So you can expect to be very, very weak the next day on whatever given lift that you're trying to hit certain numbers on. If you're into powerlifting or you're trying to hit certain numbers whatsoever, you can just expect to be a little bit weaker if you're hitting the lower rep range the next day. So for instance, me failing on 500 for 2 reps on deadlift yesterday caused me not to be able to get bench for sets of 4 or 5 today. I still could do that. It's just that if I want to hit some good numbers on bench press for a given week, and I'm on a calorie deficit, right? So I have less central nervous system, ligaments, joints, all that stuff's going to get taxed a lot easier. I have less calories, I'm losing fat, so less cushion on the muscle, less cushion on the joints, ligaments. What I need to do is prioritize one lift per week, one thing that I really, really want to PR on and hit some really, really good numbers. You can hit little set PRs and like little, maybe, you know, by little PRs I mean maybe you're getting an extra rep on an extra set, or you're doing one extra set with a given amount of reps and weight on an exercise, on a power movement like squat, bench, deadlift. What you want to do is really prioritize one lift when you're dieting, because it's kind of hard to hit PRs on squat, bench, and deadlift. Someone's calling me. I'll have to get that in a second. It's really, really hard to hit PRs on squat, bench, and deadlift every single week when you're dieting, and unless you're brand new, like you've been lifting for a year or two, probably not going to happen. The best you can do is maintain on 2 of those lifts one week and try to PR on one of those lifts one week. And you can gain strength throughout a cut if you're really, really precise on how you're doing it. Most likely, if you're trying to hit PRs on every single lift every single week, they're all just going to be kind of stagnant. They're all just going to sit at the same. You're just going to maintain your strength. You're not going to gain any strength. What you want to do is, okay, this week I really wanted that 500 for 2 on deadlift, but last week I like literally killed my legs, so that's what messed me up. I did 2 leg sessions, a lot of volume, so much volume that I was literally still sore from Thursday, yesterday, on Monday, and I went up Crowder's Mountain, like a mountain climb and cardio on Sunday. So that really screwed me up for my leg day on Monday, and that taxed the living crap out of my central nervous system. I had 2 intense leg sessions last week, a lot of cardio. I just taxed the crap out of my central nervous system, my joints, my ligaments. My legs weren't fully recovered yet. So even to get 500 for 1 yesterday was actually really, really good for me. So it's kind of like correlation causation. So those 2 leg sessions and the 1 cardio at Crowder's Mountain last Sunday caused me not to hit my deadlift 500 for 2 yesterday. And me not hitting my deadlift 500 for 2 because I failed on the second rep really, really taxed my central nervous system, so that I wasn't going to get a lot on bench press today, if that all makes sense for you guys. So next week, if I want to hit more weight, more reps on bench press, what I really need to do is say, okay, on deadlift, instead of trying to get 500 for 2 again, which I might be able to do, let's just take it down to like maybe 425 and do that for 2 or 3 sets of 3, which I know that I can get. That's still putting up pretty good numbers. That's still going to maintain my deadlift strength. On squat, the goal right now is to get 3 sets of 3 with 365 with really, really good form. Maybe go for those 2 goals on my leg day, and then next week I will go for a 315 bench for like maybe 4 sets of 3, or maybe 3 sets of 4. Either of those would probably be a PR at the current body weight of like 178.5. So yeah, basically you need to prioritize your central nervous system for one of the 3 big lifts if you're looking to gain strength on that lift. I'll talk more about this in other videos if you guys want to hear about it. I could talk about this for 45 minutes, but then the video would be an hour long, so I'm going to go ahead and conclude this little bit here. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Today is my dad's birthday. Might get a little bit of footage of that. Might go out with my mom in a second. I'm not sure yet. I'll see you guys in a little bit. So here's my card for my dad. Only thing I can get right now, I'm on the grind right now. I'd love to buy both my parents something really nice for their birthdays. They deserve it, but right now it's just, I'm on the grind, so words are to me what's important, how I feel and what my intentions are to do. So it's got father and son sitting there. This is the absolute best card that I could find, and this card means a lot to me. Hopefully my dad likes it. My dad's not the type of person to get emotional at all, like not at all, but one day I'm gonna buy him a Corvette and record it. Hopefully he gets somewhat emotional, because I'm going to record it and it's going to be on YouTube, because it's going to be a big moment in my life when I'm able to finally buy my parents the things that I want to buy them. It's going to mean a lot to me. Guys, a new low weigh-in this morning. I officially hit a 177.5, so I'm going to just kind of really quickly show you how I'm looking. I did post some pictures with some different lighting in the bathroom on Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook story. Now that Facebook has a freaking story, God, 3 stories now to post to. My gosh, that's a lot of story action going on. So you guys should follow me on those platforms, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, because I post. I do, and I post different content than what's on my YouTube channel. And all that stuff is in my description box, so if you want to follow me on any of those platforms, Instagram is my main platform. I snap, I do Facebook story, I do Instagram story. Sometimes my Instagram story ends up being my Facebook story. Sometimes they are all different, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. But yeah, follow me on those platforms. If you're enjoying my content, go ahead and click that like button. We're going to talk about some interesting stuff today. So here's why I really love If It Fits Your Macros. I get to fit this piece of birthday cake into my macros, estimating it to be around 14 to 15 grams of fat, 2 to 4 grams of protein, and about 35-ish to 40 carbs, somewhere around there. So, yes, I get to fit this into my macros. I'm able to actually eat it and not get fat, not slow down my weight loss. What I like to do, guys, this is kind of weird probably, but I like to actually freeze my cake. So this is like rock solid, hard frozen. And so that way it's kind of like I'm eating cake and ice cream, but the cake is also the ice cream because it's like the hard, cold, frozen cake. And then this part's still kind of soft. Just the icing gets hard and frozen. So fitting this into my macros, I haven't eaten much fat today, like only about 12 grams. And I still have 60 grams of fat a day, so probably going to fit a birthday cake slice or 2 in a day for the next day or 2. The new low weigh-in. You may have heard of the new low weigh-in, or if you know what a new low weigh-in is and you've cut down before, then you understand all too well when you get this new low weigh-in that you haven't had in a couple of days and you're like, new low weigh-in, Instagram post, Instagram story, or if this was before Instagram story, you know, Snapchat, new low weigh-in, yes, or Facebook, or whatever it is. You're just like, the new low weigh-in is one of the most exciting parts on a cut, because you're going to get new low weigh-ins over and over and over again, and because you're cutting, you might not be getting as many PRs in the gym because your strength is a little bit down because you're on a calorie deficit and blah blah blah, all that stuff. So your new PR is now your new low weigh-in. So that's kind of like the number that you're looking for every couple of days, the new low weigh-in. But the thing is, you're not going to have a new low weigh-in every single day. Sometimes you won't have one for a week. It's a really, really good indicator, but at the same time, don't get down if you don't have a new low weigh-in every 1 to 3 days, because sometimes you won't have a new low weigh-in for 5 days, and that's just because of other things. You might actually be losing a lot of weight, and you need to like look at yourself in the mirror as well as just the scale. So new low weigh-in is such a controversial thing that honestly I almost think that it should have abbreviation NLW. So like hashtag NLW on Instagram, new low weigh-in. I might actually make that a thing because it's probably going to title this video the new low weigh-in, because you guys seem to like the titles. The posing update got a lot of views, whereas it's super informative video about deadlifting, or not about deadlifting, it was about squats and that sort of stuff yesterday, and no one cared. So you guys like it feels like freaking the on the beginning of the title, and I was shirtless, but damn it, Jordan was not shirtless. Jordan did not have an enticing title, so you guys did not care. I'm sorry that I failed you. Back to the topic, guys. Back to the topic. New low weigh-ins are something we look forward to. I want to end this video by telling you guys how to track your weigh-ins. So, when you're dieting down for a show, you're dieting down for a before and after photo, something like summer shredding, you're going to be weighing in every single morning. This is something that we do. Weighing in every single morning gets you an accurate reading on how your weight loss is trending. If you're only weighing once a week, you're not going to have enough data to be able to change your macros. I don't believe the whole like only weighing once a week is a good approach for someone trying to get an extreme conditioning. It's good for someone that has to lose like a lot of weight, like 100 pounds. They're just on a weight loss journey. It's okay to weigh once a week then, but if you're trying to get like sub 8% body fat or sub 10% body fat, and you're tracking your macros and you're tracking your workouts and all that sort of stuff, you need to be weighing every single morning on an empty stomach after you've peed. So what you do, try to get up around the same time every single morning. So I typically get up around 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning. That's when I awaken in the morning, and then I just go straight and pee. Make sure that I get all the pee out of my bladder hole, and then I go and jump on the scale. And that's how I do it. You don't want to be getting up one morning at 8, you're getting up the next morning at 12, getting up the next morning at 6, getting up the next morning at like 10:30, because your weigh-ins are just going to be all over the freaking place. You're not going to be able to track them whatsoever. And yeah, you'll see some drop maybe, but it'll just be super inconsistent. So try to get up around the same time. Make sure to go pee first. Don't eat anything, and be naked. Be naked, weigh in on the scale. Do that every single day, weigh-ins. And so basically how it's done with macros and everything is, say your carbs are 300, your fat is 65, and your protein is 160. You haven't hit a new low weigh-in in 15 days. That's over 2 weeks. That's over 15, let's say you haven't hit a new low weigh-in in 14 days. You've been 170, 170, 170, 170, 170, 170, 170 for 14 days. So what I would do if I were coaching you, your carbs were at 300 and you hadn't hit a new low weigh-in 14 days, is I would say, alright, let's go ahead and drop your carbs to 275. That's it. I don't want to do anything else. Go at that for a week. If you have a new low weigh-in during the next week or two, cool. Now you're making progress again, you're moving. If you're at 275 carb and you still don't lose any weight in a week, then what I'm going to do is add in a cardio session, or an additional cardio session, 20 minutes on the stair stepper, 25 minutes on the stair stepper. Most likely after those two changes you're going to be losing weight. You're going to see new low weigh-ins yet again every 2 or 3 days. Once that slows down, maybe you do those macros 275, an extra cardio session for another 3 or 4 weeks, and then you stop again. You start to slow down your weight loss. It's like a new low weigh-in is just not happening. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and lower your carbs to about 255. Now that I've lowered your carbs a good bit, I'm going to be much more strategic on any sort of drop that I do to your macros, or you're upping your cardio or anything. Alright, so let's say you're 255. Okay, that gets you another two weeks of weight loss. You know, new low weigh-ins just coming in, just flowing in, and then all of a sudden, another plateau comes up. Alright, we haven't pulled from fat yet. Let's go ahead and pull some fat out. I think that I said your fat was 65, 60. Let's just say it was 60. So now it's going to be down to 55. Changing your fat will make a big difference, but don't, whatever you do, drop a bunch of fat like early on in the diet. You don't want to go low fat at all if you can. If you do go lower fat, you want to only do it for like maybe the last 30-45 days of the diet, because that's a lot harder on the body, a lot harder on the mind. You need fat, you need fat, you need fat. If you want to drop calories, you want to take it from carbs as much as you can, and then when your carbs start to get a little lower, then you can maybe draw a little bit from fat. So when I'm coaching people, I do a combination of dropping carbs sometimes dropping cardio, or upping cardio, I mean, and then sometimes dropping fat. But dropping fat is usually the last thing that I'll do. And then if I've dropped a little bit of fat, then I'll go back to, you know, it's a whole thing. That's why I do coaching. That's why I coach people. That's just the diet side, the weigh-in side. There's a whole, like, workout progression, exercise, all this stuff to the coaching as well. I'm telling you guys this in case you're not looking to get a coach. You just want to do it yourself, and you want to be able to manipulate your macros on your own. But if you do want to hire me as an online coach, link as always is in the description. I'm going to live card it up here at the top of the screen. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. All love. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't say that enough, but yeah, those things are very awesome.